Good afternoon. My name is Sean Dexter and I welcome you back to the Mango Grove. It's a beautiful day outside and Bitcoin giving us some beautiful profits. In today's video, I'll be talking about how, why, and when I took a short trade around these levels over here and how you can take those kind of trades as well. I'll also be talking about, or rather answering, the question that I've been getting a lot over the weekend. Sean, is it time for me to be buying Bitcoin for my long-term investment portfolio hold? So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for this video. Alright, so we'll first start with the short trade that I did take over the weekend. I took it around these levels over here. So why did I take it around those levels? Well, if you guys do remember, over the past few days, I've been talking about the daily 200 moving average. We can go ahead and pull that up. We'll use our Ichimoku template right over here. It does have a 200 moving average. As you guys know, I was using this as a pivot point. I was looking for Bitcoin to break this level before I get interested in any short trades, right? But then again, was that enough for me? As you guys know, I do like looking for confirmation, right? So we did get that break over here. I did not chase the trade. Be careful, guys. Do not chase trades. You could end up in trouble, right? If you see this break over here and you end up selling over here expecting the drop to the downside, it doesn't come. In fact, what do you get? You get the bounce and the retest, and that's where the patient traders come in and they take their short trades, right? But even over here, right, you have to be careful, because what if this was a trap? What if this was simply a bear trap, getting traders into the short trade, and then you get the move on over to the upside, right? That's where I look for confirmations. And the one thing that has been very, very strong recently, very, very strong, and those of you guys who are on the Mango Telegram group and the Mango Seed group, you guys know what I'm talking about over here. It's the goddamn Mango Vine indicator. It's been getting everything so well, and as you guys know over here, well, it gave you like 3 goddamn entries over here, right? If you missed the first one, the second one, the third one as well, then we have no one but ourselves to blame. And I'm done. I am done playing against the Vine. In fact, I'm only going now that the Vine is giving me signals in direction of the trend, it is so much easier for me to take these trades. And man, it's been a freaking pleasure. So over here, it gave you a really nice entry over here. And if you guys do know how to play the Vine, you can either accumulate or take one big position. Now it depends on your preference. I do like to accumulate. Over here was your first sign to enter, and then again over here gave you an entry. And these were both, by the way, these were both tests of the 1 day 200 moving average, right? Now if you didn't enter over here, and actually I didn't enter on this one over here, I looked for confirmation, and that's when I got it around these candles here. You don't need to get the top, guys, okay? You need to think of confirmation as you paying, okay, you paying money for more information, right? And yes, you're not going to get the top, but you're getting more information. You're getting a safer trade. And I got that over here because the Vine did start printing a little angle towards the downside. I did enter over here, lined up with the retest of the daily 200 moving average, and then we got the move on over to the downside. In fact, over here, right, when you got that move up over here yesterday, it did give you another entry. And so getting scared and being like, oh, this is going to move on to the upside. I know some of you guys have messaged me on the Mango Telegram group. You guys took this trade over here, and I was really proud of you, because usually I know a couple of you guys who did take this trade from a couple of months ago. You guys will be getting scared out of your positions, but you guys added over here, and I was really proud to read that when I woke up today. And hey, what do you know, we wake up to some really good profits over here. So far this thing has been nailing it, man. The 12-hour especially, let's go ahead and look at that, right? It nailed it. Like, this is the one that I was looking for, and I missed it, man. Right over here when it gave us a signal right at this pump towards the upside, scaring a lot of people, other traders out of their trades, but giving us that entry over here and driving to the downside. Now me, I did not get this one, even though I was positioned well for it, and that was more so because of my greed. And hey, happens, man, happens. Don't get greedy. Stick to your trades, stick to your guns, guys. Learn from my mistakes. That being said, you are seeing some signs, right, of and the 12 hour here has been very good at saying, hey, you may want to stop being if you did enter in your trades over here based on the 12 hour, you are seeing signs over here that, hey, you may want to take some profits at the very least, book some profits. And if you do want to be aggressive, perhaps look for a bounce. And for those of you who have access to the wine, you guys know, and the accompanying videos as well, you guys know what this means right over here. That being said, if you don't have access to the wine, does that mean you could not have taken this trade? Hell no, man. Again, you use all of these things. So the way I like to play it, okay, let me clear all of this out. We do have a pattern over here that is forming. I'm sure everybody is looking at it, but I don't want to talk about that just yet. The reason for that is the way I trade as a trader is I look at patterns as a secondary or a tertiary tool, and the reason for that is patterns tend to be more of a subjective tool, because as human beings we tend to look for what we want to see, right? Now I'm not saying pattern trading is bad just because we're human beings, right? I'm just saying that I'd rather err on the safer side and go look at something that is more objective first, okay? Something that will clear out my bias, and then look for patterns that will confirm what my objective tool is telling me, right? So that's why I look at the mango wine first, because it is more of a objective tool, and then you can look for patterns for more confirmation, right? Because again, as human beings, we tend to look for what we want, and our biases kick in, etc., etc. You guys know that the charts, at least the way I look at charts, is all about human emotions. And hey, sometimes your own human, not sometimes, all the time, your own emotions will kick in. So keep that in check and do whatever you can to help yourself keep that in check. This is how I do it. You do it your way. Pattern traders, I know they get shit on a lot. I don't think it's warranted at all, because pattern trading does work in Bitcoin, man. That being said, I do want to talk about what has been going on over here on Bitcoin. I believe I have it drawn on Coinbase. Yep, right over here. We can switch on over to the lower time frames. So if you don't have access to mine, you guys simply been playing this channel over here, right? We did have a rising channel, which especially in a downward trend is a typically bearish pattern that breaks on over to the downside. As you can see, we broke on over to the downside over here, and you even got your retest over here that allowed you to re-enter, right? This was again the wine giving you the same signal, telling you, hey man, do not get scared of this up thrust here. In fact, you should be entering on this trade over here. And as soon as you got that retest, man, Bitcoin is such a generous chart, such a generous asset when it comes to these kind of trades, right? And this is another indication, by the way, guys, that just because you missed your trade, right? Like, let's say you get the breakdown over here, okay? Just because you missed it over here, you don't need to chase it, man. You don't need to chase it. People chase thinking that it's going to happen immediately. Yes, often it does happen and you meet your measured move, but there's so many trades to be had. Just be patient and look at what you get over here. You get the retest. And note this down right now. Note this down. Just because you have a breakdown of a pattern doesn't mean you need to chase the breakdown. You will often get a retest, because that's exactly what the bigger players want you to do, and they will take your liquidity and they will get you to sell over here and then buy back over here, when you should be selling over here and taking your profits over here. Oh, by the way, speaking of liquidity entries and taking profits, for those of you who are in the seed program, I am uploading a brand new module today where I talk about institutional order flow and all of just these kind of things. So make sure you stay tuned for that and watch the entire thing. It's going to be very important. That being said, I did take profits in this area over here. Why did I take profits? Well, this actually leads us very perfectly to the question that I've been getting all weekend, and that is, Sean, is it time for me to start entering, start layering in, start dollar cost averaging in to my investment portfolio, my longer term positions, right? When we talk about longer term positions, right, should you be looking at the daily? I know a lot of people think that the 4-hour time frame is a lower time frame and the daily is a longer time frame. Actually, guys, the daily is also, I would say, a short time frame, rather a mid time frame, right? When you're talking about longer time frames, you want to look at the weekly, you want to look at the monthly. As you guys know, I did add to my longer term position over here, right actually at the tip. And why was that? Well, let's go ahead and pull up the mango ribbon, and right over here you can see that the 55 EMA, right? Let's hide all of our horizontals for now. The 55 EMA right over here is coming in to support support Bitcoin. So to me, that was a big that was a big level, right? I also talked about, if you guys missed the last couple of videos, go ahead and watch it. I do discuss this in more detail. But the weekly is a high time frame, yes, you can look at it, but the monthly is even a higher time frame, right? So when you're making longer term decisions, guys, and I'm talking about things like years from now, right? If you are looking to either invest in traditional markets like mutual funds, index funds, whatever, right, you're not going to be holding that for like a few months or weeks, right? You're going to be holding that for years. Well, at least I would think that you would, right? People when it comes to those kind of investments, they're trades still, right? Just longer term trades. They are willing to not look at the price and worry about the longer term price, but they let the fluctuations of Bitcoin affect them in those. You should be having the same mindset. Think about the your longer term view, and how do you want to play it, right? So I did take profits over here because that does kind of in line with what I'm looking at in terms of my longer term positions, because I actually also bought Bitcoin over here this morning on my other account because I'm looking to start layering in for my longer term positions. So why did I do that? Well, the weekly 55 EMA is right over there, right? That I already discussed. But guys, we are closing a goddamn month today. We are actually starting a brand new quarter. And let's go ahead and clear out all of this right now, and we'll talk about horizontals now. We do have monthly support coming in over here. Let me switch on over to the monthly chart. Monthly goddamn support coming right over here. As you guys can see, these candle closes and this wick over here is providing Bitcoin support right at those levels, right? And I was wondering, hey, would Bitcoin actually find some support at those levels? And if you go back on over to the hourly chart now, you can see that dotted line is this guy over here, right? This guy. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. I'm going to go ahead and change the color for you guys, just so you guys can. Yeah, style, and let's turn to purple or pink. Okay, pink right there. So pink is the line, the dotted line I'm looking at. That is the monthly support, and we are closing the month today. So it's going to be the reason I took my profits over there, and the reason I lined that up also with my investment buy, is because it's going to be so easy to manage that trade. All I have to do is wait a single day. All I want to see is, can Bitcoin even hold above this monthly support by the end of today? Because if it does, I'm fine. I'm fine with my longer term position. If not, I would look to be like, hey, we may see some more drawdown, and I may want to de-risk a little bit of my longer term position and wait for some more, right? That's how I'm playing it. But you guys need to understand that when it comes to these investment decisions, these longer term decisions, it's completely based on your personal finances, guys. So when I'm looking at the monthly over here, right, we can go ahead and hide horizontals again, and we turn on. Okay, so I've been getting the question, to get to the question, to get to the meat of it. Should I be buying in now? I can't answer that question for you, okay? I'm not your financial advisor. I can just tell you my thoughts. And my thoughts are, I am prepared to be buying in all the way from around anywhere from around 8,000ish to 6,700, 6,900. I'm prepared to buy that entire range, okay? I'm willing for Bitcoin to come down there. But at the same time, the reason I'm buying already is because I'm not willing to not have gotten any buys at all if Bitcoin does bounce from here, right? I am not willing. That is just me. Now you need to separate what your mindset is as a trader, okay, compared to your mindset as a investor, which is why I literally have two different accounts, as a investor and as a trader. I don't mix the two, because as a goddamn trader, I will not be longing this area. I would not be putting in a high leverage long positions the way I take a high leverage short position over here. In fact, what I do is in a downtrend, I only take high leveraged short positions and take profits at those key levels, right? So what I did was I lined up the fact that, hey, we are at monthly support, right, where I as a longer term trader, I'm looking to come in and buy. Okay, I'm looking to come in and buy. That means there are other traders other investors rather, who are also probably coming in and looking to buy some over there. So at the very least, we'll see some support around these levels. And what do you know? We actually did see some support around those levels, and we did see that bounce. So I took profits based on that idea. Will I be longing over there? No, I will not be longing over there. I'll be looking for other signs before I take a leveraged long. You guys know I'm a trend trader, and the reason I'm a trend trader is because, again, it's those emotions, guys. And we can talk about this now a little bit more. Emotions drive markets. Okay, emotions are why markets get overextended. Emotions are why this could very well go all the way down to 6,900, and I'm ready for that. This could go down even further, right? Emotions are what make people greedy too, and they're thinking, man, I was okay. So this entire area that Bitcoin was sitting at around 12,000, 13,000, 14,000. A lot of traders were missed their positions, and they were feeling the FOMO, and they finally got in at the top, or they're just feeling like crap, and they just walked away from the markets. If they did, good for them, because now they have a chance to buy. But there'll be just as many traders who are thinking, or investors rather, thinking, hey, you know what, I'm going to wait a little bit more, I'm going to wait a little bit more, I'm going to wait a little bit more, I'm going to wait a little bit more. And they may be rewarded, or they may not be rewarded. You'll never know, right? But it's the same emotions, the same greed that causes markets to get overextended. Why? Because while more and more traders start getting greedier and greedier and greedier, you start seeing less interest from buyers who would have been stepping in to buy at certain levels, right? That equilibrium, that imbalance of buyer and sellers it's getting more and more and more and more extended, until all it takes is one guy, one institutional investor, one hedge fund to be like, all right, that's it, that's enough, I'm going to start absorbing all of these sells, right? And as price starts coming down, sellers become more and more disinterested. When do they become disinterested? When they start seeing them losing that edge of the profits, or they just start seeing price stagnate, right? That's one of the reasons, guys, why I was able to time you know, guys know I hate saying that, time the bottom over here, right? I do want to talk about this. So it was the same story, right? I was playing the emotions of the market. Everybody over here was looking for flicking 2k, 1.9k, but everyone I knew was selling. But who the hell was buying if the market was not going down? Market was in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days. Market was barely budging for the amount of bearishness I was seeing, okay? So who was taking the other side of the trade? And I got so lucky over here. You guys probably know I've talked about this before. Literally 3 hours after I bought back into BTC, got my entire position in, we got this boom. Like I was, and I do want to give myself some credit too, because I really sat down with Krisha, my fiance, and we really talked about it, and we're like, you know what, who the hell is taking the outside trade? Do we really want to risk it? And it's similar story over here now. I'm not trying to time any bottom. I wasn't trying to time the bottom over here either, guys. I just got lucky and turned out to be the bottom over here too. I don't know if I'm going to get lucky or not. Luck plays a huge role in the markets, guys. Just come to terms with that. So I may have digressed a little bit over there. Let's go back to what I was talking about. We're talking about the monthly over here. Bitcoin could very well come down to 6,900. I've talked about this before. Let's go ahead and pull up our EMAs right over here. And as you can see, the weekly 21 and the 10 SMA is coming in over there, right? Bitcoin could come and touch that. That's coming in at 6,700. I do think a lot of people have that target in their minds for other reasons. So 6,700 would be a target for me as well. Over there, would I take a leveraged long position? Perhaps. How high of a leveraged long position? I don't know just yet. I'll have to think about it. But this is a likely spot for Bitcoin to come into. But the fact that a lot of people are looking at it makes me think back to the 2.4k 2.9k range that everybody was looking for, that Bitcoin never got to. So keep that in mind as well if you're thinking as an investor. But if you're thinking as a leverage trader, perhaps. I do want us to think back to the time where I took my trade over here, right, at 3.6k 3.8k, looking for this trade over here. That was because of this cross here, the bearish cross of the 1021 SMA. And over here now, we're getting the opposite, right? We're getting the bullish cross, a bullish cross. I know this looks like a lot of bearish price movement, guys, but on the monthly time frame, the quarterly time frame, Bitcoin is looking fine, okay? And that's what you need to think about and look at as a longer term investor. Bitcoin won't be looking ugly until it closes underneath these levels. So it needs to close a goddamn month, okay? A month underneath these levels over here, okay? So that's my view, okay? We talked about how I am willing for price to come all the way down here, and I'll be layering in over here. I am okay with that. You don't need to be okay with that. You need to sit down with your own finances, understand your position, and think about everything. If you do want to be layering in, I just want to reference the fact that, hey, this is Bitcoin we're talking about, and ask yourself, why are you here in this market? Are you here as a trader, or are you here as an investor, or are you here as a trader and an investor? I fall in the third category, so it is a little bit more difficult for me, right? Because I have to like balance both. But if you're here purely as a trader, you can just say, hell no, I'm not buying into this shit. But don't laugh at people who do buy into it. I see people, I see a lot of YouTubers too, who are like laughing at people who are buying into this. But you guys need to understand that, hey, everybody who bought at 6K over here, they are sitting pretty. Okay, they are sitting pretty and laughing at the people who are now waiting desperately for 6K. Okay, think about that. And these are guys who think years ahead. Okay, so think about that too. It's different perspectives, different personalities, different profiles. So are you here as a trader? If you are, you don't want to be buying into a downtrend, man. But are you here as a believer? Are you here for Bitcoin as a revolution, right? That's what I'm here for as well. That's what got me into the market. I believe in Bitcoin. I believe in Bitcoin. And if you consider everything that's happening around in the markets, guys, negative interest rates all around us, country after country introducing negative interest rates. At the very least, you're going to see other countries dropping their high interest rates. It's happening all around us. Look at the divide in the older generation and the younger generation. There is such a culture gap. We don't want borders, they do want borders. You're seeing it all around. What does that spell for Bitcoin? More acceptance, in my opinion. Again, the macro fundamentals of everything for the future of Bitcoin just looks so goddamn bullish. That is my opinion, though. This is not financial advice. Honestly, guys, Bitcoin could come down to all the way down to freaking 6K, 5K, and that I still see. Not in this video. If you guys are interested in a more bullish, longer term outlook where I'm talking about like 5 years down the line and my thoughts on Bitcoin as a fundamental asset, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Also throw a like, throw a subscribe, share this goddamn video, hit that bell icon. I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, trade stress free, trade the mango way, keep it simple. See you soon.